So I unlocked the Triumph decoration on day 1, and let's just say it was easier than I thought. As always, if you haven't already, consider subscribing, join my Discord, follow my Twitter, you know the drill. Let's get into it. Here's how I did it. So first and foremost, everyone remembers the sort of abandoned factory. Now, in my breakdown video, I said this was going to seem like a letdown, and honestly, it really does. But the abandoned factory, especially on day 1, is absolutely crucial for me to ultimately get it. So right over here, you see me running over to the first crate, open that crate, and then I'm going to loot the contents immediately, not even going to bother with any of the doors or any of that, because it's all locked until future weeks. Obviously, I'll do videos on that when it eventually comes. Get rid of that thingy, and then I want to go to the second chest, which is up there. Obviously, there's a lot of annoying stuff in the grass. You can see that moving. Maybe that's a hint towards PvP, as I said. I don't know. Anywho, going to loot up this thingy because this also has some very essential loot. But the most important part to my strategy was to auto-farm the zone, and I didn't record that. Next step was the lab. Well, I guess, yeah, the lab. I know a lot of people are just going to immediately tune out, but hear me out, alright? I want you to just take a look at some of the gameplay on the screen. Look at that. One zombie, and that's it. You don't even have to do easy and hard mode. I mean, that's just a drain on seaweed at this point, and I'm kind of lazy when it comes to seaweed farming, so I just did hard mode to begin with because that's what I'm farming for anyways. But one entire go around of the lab equated me to probably 5k-ish of those rare material samples, which is insane. Like, just getting rid of that stomper gives 30. That is huge. You're going to quickly deal with these ones, and then, you know what? I am in the mood for a montage. So you know what?
Missing someone.
Dang, I was really enjoying the montage. Alright, well, we're back here, and obviously, I gotta go max. Now, you might notice I went max 1. You can repair the second generator, but that will be extremely difficult. Not price-wise, but wave-wise. I find that just one right here, there's only one turret, right? And I'm sort of struggling just a little bit. I mean, I have max modded guns, and there's just like one turret helping me. Obviously, I'll go into like the full strat I eventually set on, but I have one turret helping me, and I'm already struggling a little bit with one terminal and 3 levels of difficulty. Once you add the second layer of terminal, yeah, it gets absolutely brutal. I think there's a gameplay clip in here in a second. You'll see once I sort of get the system established. It goes absolutely brutal, but obviously that's 250 right there, just because of one. Now, I think with the second one, it's like 300 or something like that. Yeah, that extra 50 really isn't worth it for the amount of zombies I had to kill. Yeah, I'd much rather take that loss and open up these crates and do all that, as opposed to have to kill that many more zombies, deal with that much more stress, and all of that. But I suppose you'll see it a lot more in the gameplay clip. And that's not bad. I will give it. I'll do a full video on that, by the way. And then the second place where I went to was Bunker Alpha. That was it. Just the lab in Bunker Alpha. I feel like that distinction is really important because look at that, Momo 44444 right there. Now, the goal is not cheapness. I saw a couple of comments about that. The goal of these videos is never about cheapness. The goal is not necessarily a guide. It's a video about, hey, I did this thing. Here's how I did it. OMG, ZD, the lab is so expensive, or Bunker Alpha is so expensive the way you're doing it. Well, yeah, that's true. It's, you know, if you want to play efficient, you could just do this, you know, just gradually play the game and eventually you'll accumulate points. Me, I'm farming for the points because that's the content. Anywho, fast biter going, and let's keep going, actually. When I did this, actually, I did floor 2 and floor 3. And honestly, just VSS, go guns blazing, it is incredibly satisfying. I remember when the bunker used to be just so very difficult for me, and now I'm just mowing through it with guns. Activate auto healing here, that's probably a good spot. And alright, we have the gas. Am I going to, oh, perfect timing, activate sprint. Let's go all the way to the terminal, and just like that, floor 2, done in like, what, 2 minutes-ish? Maybe? I gotta go kill the rest, but still. As you can see, the second one, I did build it, but I'm leaving it broken as is. And this is the eventual setup I settled on. 3 turrets and then spikes in front. The spikes should slow the zombies down just a little bit, or distract them just at least a little bit. And the turrets and my VSS and max modded guns is the main DPS. Obviously, eventually, like if they send a group of zombies, maybe 1 or 2 zombies will break through and get a hit off, which will eventually, if you're doing this like 50, 60 times, eventually it'll start to whittle down your defenses, and eventually, but I found that I was barely able to eke it out with this specific setup, which is why I mentioned that the abandoned factory and that auto clearing was so important. You want to build these level 2 turrets, because as you can see, I'm literally just standing here. Now, after the clip, I realized that it's a lot easier. I could just click auto and let the entire thing run, because quite honestly, it does all of the work for itself. And so it makes me really question why I was doing all of that difficulty with self-healing. Now, as you can see, the zombies do, inevitably sort of break through, and they do a bit of damage, and eventually it starts to wear on you, but I think if you just have a little bit of heal, you should be okay. Maybe, like, I did this 12 or 14 times in a row, and by the 14th wave, I think 1 or 2 turrets were broken, all of the spikes were broken. I was at roughly 35 health, did not heal once. I think those were my final stats, which is honestly not bad. Now, every single time I do this, that's 250, and 250 is equivalent to 2.5 crates. Now, I prefer to go with the crates because I'm filming another video, which you'll see in a little bit. That should be out, I want to say tomorrow. Reputation sort of scales with the amount you spend. So if you spend 160, you're going to get the same amount of reputation regardless if you spent it on one item or if you spent it on a bunch of these smaller items. And I figured I might as well throw a couple of these ending results in here. Here's a little bit of a tease of what some of the stuff I got. Obviously, I'm going to do a full video on this and the unknown box crate and all of that sort of stuff tomorrow, which you'll see. But as you can see, this box, I must say, is pretty well worth. Like, even if I just got carbon fiber, that's a common, which is incredible. As you can see, pretty far along in progress. Doing it again, I believe I spliced these two together. There we go. Claim reward. I have it. Triumph. Yes, that was not that difficult, actually. Anywho, I'm at my base now, and it just appears in your inventory. Let's put it down right over here. Just for demonstration purposes, I'll probably move it off camera or something like that. Okay, very cool. Not too much storage. And I'm back. There is a bunch of stuff in my inventory now. A bunch of decorations. These are just base decorations. They don't, unfortunately, stack. And then go over here, and let's just hit put all. Because, let's see if anything else goes in here, right? And, okay. There we go. Yeah. That's cool, I guess. I mean, it saves us a little bit of storage, right? That's sort of cool. If I'm going to be honest, though, I'd probably rank this one the lowest out of all the storages,